morning, everybody. Coach Darren here. Fitness over 50. But we don't grow old. No, we age like a fine wine. I'm going to ask you a question today. Are you a failure? I mean, that's a tough question. Like I said, F is usually a bad word. And failure. You know what? In life, there's only one way for you to be a failure. And that's for you to quit. There are so many people that we would look at and say, how could that guy be a failure? He is like a superstar. And it's not that they were failures. It's just that they had many challenges and obstacles, and they just never quit. They never failed because they never quit. Let's take a look at some of these people. I'm going to start with a kind of a funny one. Colonel Sanders. The real Colonel Sanders. He tried everything. He tried all different business schemes. He tried, different restaurant ideas. He was down to $105 of his Social Security money at the age of 65. And he went around with his great Kentucky Fried Chicken recipe idea to make franchise restaurants. He was rejected 1,009 times. People told him to get lost. Do you think that he failed? Do you think that, every time he went and someone said no thanks, that he gave up? No, he didn't fail because he never quit. He kept going. A very famous one, Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison, 10,000 times, tried different ways to make the light bulb. And he said that, he never once failed. He just found 10,000 ways that didn't work. Never, ever giving up. Experiment 1, failure. Experiment 2, failure. It's all how you use the term failure. He didn't fail. He just kept trying. You only fail if you quit. One of my favorites, Sylvester Stallone. Sylvester Stallone's dream was to be an actor. And he kept getting these awesome roles as Thug 1, Thug 2, Thug 3. Nobody wanted to give him an acting role. He had a speech impediment. They just didn't think that he was a good leading man. So he actually wrote Rocky himself and presented it to different studios, who again rejected him a bunch of times. But one of the studios finally said, yeah, we'll take the movie on. But what they didn't realize was that he intended to play Rocky. And eventually, the rest is history. He never gave up. He went to over 1,500 auditions and was never given a leading role. Over and over again. Never, ever quit. Henry Ford had a number of failed businesses, went bankrupt, never gave up on the idea of the mass-produced car. And eventually, what happens? Ford's one of the most recognized brands in the world for cars. Never gave up, had multiple failures in business, failures in life, but Henry Ford never gave up. Another one, Oprah. She came from a very, very difficult background. She was sexually and physically abused, and she had many, many setbacks. No one wanted to give, an African-American woman her own interview talk show, but she kept pushing and pushing. She never gave up on her dream. She never quit, so she never failed. So these are just 5 small examples of people that faced great adversity. They just never gave up. They kept going, and it's stories like this that inspire me. It's stories like this that keep me going. It's stories like this, in the mindset that tell me that no matter what happens, you can always overcome adversity. You just can't give up, because once you give up, that's the only way that you can be a failure. Anyway, today is also an F day, which is what made me think of failure. Today is Friday, TGIF, one of my favorite days, start of the weekend. I hope you guys are going to have some awesome plans, maybe get to spend some time with family over the weekend, and I'll be back.